What's going on, everybody? It's No Reservations, and we're back. Now, today's guest is a great human being. Taught me a few things that I didn't know. Talented artist, entrepreneur, my brother. So without further ado, let me introduce to you Robert Puritan Mendoza.
Dang, special. Hold on, bro.
Yeah, you know, we're all about knowing names, bro, right? Like we said last time.
This is dope, man. Thanks for having me, man. This is awesome.
Yes.
Finally get to be on, bro. Season 2. Let's go.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for being here.
Already, brother.
Fuck yeah.
Yes, it's the best. Thank you so much for
absolutely
coming on. It's such an honor. You were one of the, we had made a list at the beginning of season 1 of people we wanted, and you were on the top of that list for us. So we were, we were very like, we need to have him on.
Yeah, honored to be here, dude.
And it organically happens.
Yeah, man.
The universe aligned.
Baby. Yeah, that's how it is, man. Everything happens when it's supposed to happen. You know what I mean? Can't force it.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's been building up for these moments, you know what I mean? All the time we've been spending together and stuff, dude, yeah.
Exactly, bro.
Ready time, I like it.
Here we go.
So, Robert, tell us a little bit about yourself and just what inspired you to start the journeys that you've been on in life.
Yeah, man. So, born and raised here in Phoenix, you know what I mean? Grew up, you know, typical Nana house, you know what I mean? All the cousins and aunts and uncles and tias and tios everywhere and constantly in and out, you know what I mean? And kind of grew up doing that whole vibe, you know what I mean? I'm the oldest of my family immediately, you know what I mean? But my mom had us very late, you know what I mean? She had me at 30. So all my cousins that I was closest to were 10 years older than me already, you know what I mean? So it was like, dang, dude, like, where do I fit in? Because there was ones that were younger, there was ones older. I was right in the middle, and like, you know what I mean? It was very different. Growing up in like, you know, thugs and hoodlums and gangsters, and you're just like, bro, you guys are all doing this crazy stuff already, and I'm watching you guys do this stuff, but like, I'm a kid. I don't know what you guys are really doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're gonna go to the store. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? Then why are you guys running back in the house now? You know what I mean? Like,
with bags. What's that?
What does that mean? But yeah, man, growing up and doing that, you know what I mean? Music's always been around. You know what I mean? From having to wake up on the Sunday mornings with my dad playing mariachi music, you know, corridos in the morning, and it's like, we're gonna have to get up and clean this yard, bro, and it's 6 o'clock, the sun's not even up yet, it's cold out, whatever it was, man, that was what it is. You know, my mom always would be Motown oldies, you know what I mean? We go to the Park and Swap, and she'd buy the West Side Stories and the East Side Story CDs, you know what I mean? So there was always that kind of stuff around. I think it was a big thing. Then when I got into, you know, middle school, I started playing instruments and things, and I kind of found that rhythm, you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, I like music, bro, everything. I'm very mathematical. You know, 2 + 2 is always going to equal 4.
Right.
You know what I mean? And music's that. You know what I mean? Music is that, bro. So I was like, yeah, this is the way to kind of do it. Got into high school, got into spoken word poetry. Never thought I could rap, bro. It was never rap was not the goal. It was just music. I was going to be a band. You know what I mean? I'm playing. I'll be Carlos Santana reborn. You know what I mean? Like, I'll come back full. You know? And it was just like one of these things. I just wanted to pick up the music more and more. But yeah, then I did spoken word poetry because in high school, randomly, I got put into a class, and then that was one of the things, like public speaking. I was like, bro, I don't like talking in front of people, you know what I mean? But like, I remember the whole year I didn't want to participate in anything, bro. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that exercise. And then it was finally when he used to come in, it was my first class of the day, and he would put on Deaf Poetry Jam. Like Most Def used to host it back in the day. So dude, I used to come in, and I'm like, bro, I'm trying to be Mr. Cool Guy, you know what I mean? Sitting there all mad, and then just like listening to these dudes speak these poems, and they're just like, what is that, bro? Like, I didn't know that was even possible with words.
That shit was dope like that.
You know what I mean? So then I remember he had a contest, and that was like the end of the year process. You know what I mean? Like, this is gonna be your grade. We're gonna have a poetry slam. You know what I mean? Like, oh, bro, I'm gonna win this. So then I remember we did it, bro. I came in second, and I was like, oh, this is dope. The dude who won rapped. He literally went up there and like rapped a song, and I was like, oh, so this is how you do it, bro.
Right. Okay.
From then on, I was like, I'm rapping, bro. I'm gonna rap from now on. That was literally all it took. That was it. I was like, yeah, we're rapping from now on. I was like, because I'm not going to lose again. I was Not to that. Yeah, no. So, yeah, that's how it pretty much all started. And then, yeah, that was when I was, 16, 17 years old. Half my life ago now.
Sounds about right.
Old, bro. God.
No, not that you're old, but like, that's the age, 16.
No, they don't say old now. They say, what do they say now? Washed? Or is it cooked or something like that? See, I'm too old, bro.
I don't know. There's so many freaking different words now that they use.
But yeah, bro, that's what it feels like. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, just doing the music, man. It's helped me grow. It's helped me learn. You know, we've gotten all these connections. We've gotten friends. We've got this. You know what I mean? Like, well, come on. So yeah, it's been a journey, but it's been fun. You know what I mean? I've traveled, I've done things that I never thought I'd do. I've seen things I never thought I'd see. It's like, the Space Needle's alive, fool. I know. If you guys ever see it, bro, in all the pictures and all the things, you think it's Empire State Building, powerful, and then you get there and it's like the Wells Fargo building downtown, bro.
You're like,
oh, that's it, bro. Stop, bro. Yeah,
that ain't shit.
It's like that, bro. Like, it's weird. It's weird. But yeah, it's been an interesting time, man. Got a lot of family from it. Made a lot of enemies from it. So
Right. Chosen family, as I like to call them.
So I always tell people, man, I've never had brothers until I got into hip hop. I've always been the oldest, but I've also nothing but sisters. I was raised by a single mom, like my tias. So I didn't have that influencer, you know what I mean? I didn't have, besides my gangster cousins, you know what I mean? And my mom was like, "You're not going over there. You're not doing that. You know, you can't go with them this time." You know what I mean? So I owe that to my mom, keep me out of trouble.
Right.
She knew where it goes. You know what I mean? My dad, same thing. All his brothers, same thing. You know what I mean? So I was like, she was like, "Nah, we can't do this again." You know what I mean? I'm not gonna have my kid in jail. So that was what kind of kept me away from it all, man. And then music kept me out of trouble in a lot of aspects. You know what I mean? I was busy writing. Oh, let's go do this. I'm gonna finish the song. You know what I mean? I got stuff to do.
Dope.
Yeah, man. Music is a trip.
Wow, that's crazy. Like you said, there's your environment, right?
Bro.
And like, I could go do this easily.
Yeah.
But poetry got you in the door from Def Poetry Jam.
Man,
and then
wild.
you saw homie rap, and then you rap, and you just
that's it.
Channeled it. You know, like you said, blessings to your mom for raising you how she did, and then your family around you. But that's sort of what artistry does. You find camaraderies, relatabilities. You find
as
your
weird
community
as it is,
of people, and you grow it.
It's almost like that gang mentality, but with music. You know what I mean? Because it's that same thing. You're looking for, like you said, the camaraderie. You're looking for the brotherhood. You're looking for, we talked about this, the validation. You know what I mean? You're like, for that stink face, man. There's nothing that compares to the stink. When you say a line and some random dude makes that face, you're just like, yeah, I did that. You know what I mean?
I hit them in a spot.
Exactly.
Like that feeling, bro. So like, yeah, bro, there's something to that. Like, I feel like that's kind of why it felt easy to kind of make friends within the music community because of that. Like, we all had that same struggle. Everyone's fighting. I heard a quote one time in a song where he's like, I use my 15 minutes to convince you that I'm worth 15 minutes more. And like those kind of things, bro, like that's what it is to me. You know what I mean? It's that show and prove. I just want the OGs. I want the dudes who've been doing this for 20 years to come to me and go, man, you're dope. You know what I mean? Even if I wasn't necessarily seeking that, but that feeling started becoming very infectious. You know what I mean? You start like, bro, done one said I was dope. Did you all see that? Like, bro, because again, I was so new to this, man. I didn't do hip hop. You know what I mean? I didn't know hip hop until I was 16, 17 years old. I grew up on oldies and, MC Magic. You know what I mean? That was just the
like we all did around here.
You know what I mean? Like,
that was the thing. We even talked about that,
bro. And then
started going down.
Bro, then I heard hip hop for an actual boom bap hip hop. You know what I mean? Like rhythm and lyrics, and I was just like, yo, what is that? How did that even happen? You know what I mean? I knew what poetry was until this point, you know what I mean? The stanzas and got all into the cadence. Cool. And then all of a sudden it was like, put that to a beat. How? How do these people do that? You know what I mean? How do you make me think these thoughts, bro? Like the emotion behind it, all that, dude, it was weird. And that was my thing. When I first got into music, it was all aggressive. It was because of my competitive nature, you know what I mean? And my whole thing was I wanted to get on Def Poetry Jam. I didn't know that it was over already.
Oh,
right.
You know what I mean? So in my head, like, I'm gonna get to New York, and most Def's gonna be like, next up is Puritan. Yeah, and I was ready, bro. But yeah, it just never happened. So I was like, well, then I'm gonna be the best at this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna lose again. That was always my thing. I just didn't like the losing aspect. I'm like, bro, if I would have known we couldn't make a song, I would have made a song. You know what I mean? So yeah,
it's just the beat to this or that. I would have just took it over.
I would have made it happen so differently. But yeah, so like that's what got me here. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. That camaraderie, that wanting to be part of something bigger than your own self. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like music does that for me, which kept me out of wanting to go along the streets and look for that. You know what I mean? Because it's different games.
It is. Same vibe, like you said. Yeah. The streets do mirror music as crews, individualness. Like, well, I'm going to be different. Right. I'm going to be the different one.
Bro, it's a trip. I didn't realize how different aspects of the hip hop community also feel that way. You know what I mean? Because again, I wasn't a hip hop kid. So then coming into it, you start noticing, like, I remember my cousins tagging, but I didn't understand graffiti. You know what I mean? And then you get into graffiti, and I remember like meeting dudes, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm part of so and so and so and so." Oh, you're in a gang? Nah, bro, it's a gospel. What is that, bro? What is that? You know what I mean? I didn't know that was a thing either. You know what I mean? It was the mentality was a weird shift but like being around it, coming up in it, you know what I mean? Seeing it firsthand, you know, my dad going to jail, my cousin's going to jail, this person doing that. And then you start wanting to experiment a little bit, you know what I mean? Fortunately for me, I left my mama's house before I did it because she would have killed me, you know what I mean? I was like 18, I'm on the streets, you know what I mean? So then like, that's when I got more experience with life, you know what I mean? At 18 is when things kind of changed, you know what I mean? Luckily, it never took me that far, you know what I mean? I never got too deep into a lot of stuff when I easily could have, just because of everything, you know what I mean?
Circumstances and everything.
It's a trip, bro. And like, you go down these paths and like, it's weird looking back now because I'm not even that person anymore. You know what I mean? I couldn't imagine looking at those pictures, you know what I mean? The classic Popeye, the gangster, Scarface Popeye.
Charlie Brown shirt and shit.
You're sitting there like, you're looking stupid, bro. Flipping off the cameras and all. Dude, big earrings. Like, bro, who is that guy? Like, I never did that.
Right, that wasn't me. Who photoshopped this AI
Someone
shit?
says that shit to me, bro, and I'm just like, you guys are liars, bro. Like, yeah.
Pull out the proof.
Bro, it's a scary concept, bro. Because, like, yeah, it's a whole different being. You know what I mean? And again, the people I met through music kind of saved me from that. You know what I mean? Because it was getting into music. I was one type of rapper. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to battle everybody. You know what I mean? I'm going to piss off everybody. I'm going to make enemies out of everyone because it's just me. And then you start learning other people have that same thing. And then after you're done, you shake their hand and you're like, bro, you're cool. You know what I mean? Like, why do I even fucking hate you? I don't hate you. And back then, like, that was the cool thing is the spot we used to do that at, it was beat battles. So it was over a beat. It wasn't that acapella weird,
No, it's really doing it.
Theatric, you know what I mean? This was like over a beat, you got 30 seconds, go. You know what I mean? And you're just like, bro, I talk about everything you're wearing to everything, you know what I mean? It's been a trip, dude, but yeah, you get that same, then you go to war, you know what I mean? You get into disses, you know, my crew doesn't like that crew now. We're gonna put a diss song out, you know what I mean?
Just like
9 minutes long, baby. Like, bro,
I got everything on you.
Everything, dog. It was so weird. But yeah, that mentality kind of just shifted into music, you know what I mean? And it continues to do that for me. It's weird as we get older. And even now, I'm like, bro, I couldn't even, when I started doing the rap thing, I remember thinking like, nobody knows me. You know what I mean? But I just want to be known. I used to tell my sister that my goal in music was to walk into any rap show and then go, there he is. And then I got, you know what I mean? I remember walking in like just random shows, dude, and then people saying, oh shit, yeah, there it is. I remember the first time my sister was with me at a show when that happened, you know what I mean? And it was just like, you know that dude on stage? I'm like, I mean, yeah, I've seen him rap a few times, you know what I mean? But I host a lot and I see a lot of things and it's interesting, bro. It's a wild, wild journey, bro.
The organics of it all, though, you know?
That's the thing, yeah.
You don't seek the validation. It comes to you and you go, oh, this is what that feels like? Bro. This is what, it's Raekwon from Wu-Tang. It's MC so-and-so that's in this particular realm, right? Bro, right? We get that, like, out of state, in state,
everywhere,
but
bro.
We don't go, this is why I do it, though.
Right.
It comes to you.
It's weird as it is, because like that's the thing. It's like a lot of people say, you know, you're not supposed to make music for other people. You're supposed to make for yourself. You know what I mean? And if other people like it, cool. But like I said, that stink face, man. There's nothing like this.
That one, I'm like, ooh.
You're just like, oh my god. You know what I mean? It's weird because the rewind value of stuff. You know what I mean? Like nowadays, I don't hear it as much, unfortunately. But like there was a time when you had to like, wait, what? Rewind that and let me hear that back again. You know what I mean? What did he just say, bro? Like, what?
Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses?
Bro, it was like, what are you even talking about? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't grow up with hip hop, so like, I got introduced later because, you know, Simple, like, he introduced me to a lot of rap, but like, him showing me like pun, you know what I mean? Like, I remember putting on Facebook, like, I don't understand pun. I don't get the fucking, why is pun so hot? I don't get it. You know what I mean?
And then Simple put you on.
I just didn't understand it, bro. And then again, I wasn't there. I can't talk about the impact. I can't go, yeah, I remember. And, you know, these cats, like, I remember when that happened.
Right.
Bro, that's epic now. You know what I mean? And then, like, doing the research, going through the history, looking back at that time frame, dude, nobody was doing that shit, man. That multi-syllabic raps, bro, that's craziness. You know what I mean? So then, like, there's that respect factor there. And because of that, you start looking at those around you. You know what I mean? The cats I'm like, man, Bob Domestic.
Oh, yeah, the food song. Oh,
he's
man.
Weird. Full, like, going to Stray Cat back in the day. You know what I mean? We used to host the What the Funks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you walk in and I'm like, two beers in his hand, singing Whitney Houston at the top of his lungs. You know what I mean? Like, who is this dude? And then he picks up a guitar and then raps his ass off. And you're just like, you can't even judge a book by its cover, man. Because like I would have never expected that dude to rap. And then like
facts,
the food
bro.
song for what?
Yeah, that's how I first saw him, and I was like, bro, where's this fool been in forever?
Like, what is that, bro?
It was new to me.
What is that?
Yeah, what is?
I've never seen that fusion of even that at that time. You know what I mean? Because like now the internet, of course, you see everything, but like that threw me off, man. I've never seen somebody play guitar like Bob Dylan and rap, you know what I mean? And like his ass off.
And do a great job at it.
Bro, and saying words I gotta go look up later. You know what I mean? Like, what was he saying, bro? The what? The dichotomy of the what?
Right, bro, what was that? Eat healthy?
That was another game changer for me, man. That, like, a lot of people don't talk about Bob Domestic, how cold he is.
Facts.
Fucking crazy, bro. Like, his wordplay, his rhyme schemes. That man played spoons. You haven't seen him play spoons live yet?
No.
Oh, bro. So his last album release, he literally, bro, my favorite line ever. Me and Simple talk this shit all the time. We use that quote on every, bro. He fucking, so me and my lady been together for a minute now, right? She bought me fucking spoons because I was like, I'm gonna learn how to play spoons. Turns out I'm fucking ill with the spoons. And bro, he sits on a chair and like raps over, bro.
Spoon beats, no pun intended.
Cool.
Full circle on that bitch. I just made that up.
I'm gonna have to fucking. I'm gonna have to get you the.
Bro, I'm gonna have to see that
at the crib next time we come over, bro. I'm gonna have to play you the song with the spoons because it was on his last album.
Facts, bro. The way you put pun and Bob Domestic together, that's dope though because that's what it is here.
Yeah,
is that's our big pun. Then if you're judging Dead in the Middle of Little Italy, then food, motherfucker, spoons,
bro. Like that's what I mean. Artistry, bro. Like hip hop
saves you.
Changes it just changes everything. I pictured hip hop as like Ice Cube West Coast music. We're gonna go do a drive by.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're killing someone to this, bro. X-Ray. We're killing someone to this.
Oh, we're going to New York. I need Timbs and baggy pants. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, that's what I grew up on. West Coast. Dead. I'm gonna kill everything.
Murder was the case.
OG, funk era shit, all that shit. Cool, great, awesome. And then like you get introduced to like I said, the first person I ever heard that was like, yo, hip hop was Brother Ali. And
right.
The furthest thing from my fucking world, you know what I mean? This dude is completely different from an Ice Cube, you know what I mean? But hearing that, bro, he said, my blood on the back of the tickets is that religious. That was it. I was like, yo, that's fucking crazy to me. It's that religious. That's how I teach my son how to read the Quran and how a party gets done. Bro, what? Who says that in rap songs, bro? I'm gonna teach my son how to read the Quran and also how to run this shit. Because, like, bro, so like that. What is even what?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I gotta go.
How does that happen?
Right.
How does that happen from Ice Cube? Today was a good day. How does that?
How do we kill people to scriptures from the Quran that my child
with no hip hop history in my mind at that point? You know what I mean? It was just like eye opening, dog. Like that was the craziest thing, and that's the funniest part. Is like, when I first started rapping, I heard a quote just recently, bro. They say like, when you start, you run towards your influences, like you chase your influences.
Right.
And then once you hit a certain level of like notoriety or whatever you want it to be, fame, whatever it is, you tend to run away from your influences. Because like you get tired of, so when I first got put on, everyone was like, bro, he sounds just like Brother Ali. Because I would do that melodic ride the beat shit.
Yes.
And then I heard it so many times, I was like, it's a compliment, cool. But I don't want to sound like Brother Ali. You know what I mean? I want to sound like me, dude. So now then I went the exact opposite. So I said when I started rapping, it was like battle rap. Because Brother Ali is over like peace and love and unity and happiness. And I was nah. Like, nah. I can rap that. That's cool. You know what I mean?
But I got some shit to say.
But I'm going to start battling, bro. And then, then I got into that, bro. Because like, there's so many dynamic parts of hip hop, dude. And like, Bob Domestic being that, Dapper Dan, like that style,
artistic,
bent self, like all those dudes who kind of like that industrial rap. Like I didn't know that existed. You know what I mean? You got like Ohm, bro. Like what is that even? Optimal. What is that even? You know what I mean? Like
them two are on their own frequencies that can.
How does that? And that's what's crazy. They're two different walks of life. You know what I mean? Two different people, two different human beings, yet merge at this junction. You know what I mean? And like. Boom. You know what I mean? Like, I would lose my mind watching these people perform, dude. You, like, the consummate performer. You know what I mean? Like, the idea, the understanding that, like, it's a show. It's not a recital. You know what I mean?
Right. We're not just
standing up here like Bob Barker and like, hey, guys, it's a show. And, like, a lot of the memories that happen are from stuff like that. Dude, goes down to history, Red Man and Method Man. They do the crowd walk. You know what I mean? Everyone knows they do the crowd walk. Bro.
Yes.
That's cool as shit to have something like that. You know what I mean? Like futuristic, as whatever it is with them do, but the dunk into the crowd. You know what I mean? So the hoop and that kind of stuff, bro. Like people look forward to Steve Aoki with the pot or the cakes. He throws cakes at them. that stuff is crazy theatrical to me. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it's become.
Keeps you entertained.
Entertainment, bro. Like, that's the thing. Anyone can say words that rhyme, bro. You know what I mean? There's an app for that. You know what I mean? You can't teach the entertainment factor, bro. That's something that just isn't learned. You know what I mean? That is
either have it,
bro. You don't. And like, I'm still trying to work on it myself. You know what I mean? But like, that's like you, man. Prophetic, or like these people put on shows. You know what I mean? It's legit. Like,
Gabor.
Gabor is nuts.
That fool. Ryan.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's things like that. You know, it's something simple too, though, like the optimal hand.
Exactly.
You're from Arizona and you've seen fucking optimal. You know the optimal hand, bro.
It's
like
serious.
That weird.
Yeah, he's writing something.
He's not doing something wrong, or he's doing something right. I don't know what's going on.
He's not conjuring anything. He's in the zone,
bro. It's different worlds. Like it's that's the trippy part about hip hop. Like that's what it's done for me. Is it's brought cats that I would have never met. You know what I mean? One of the dudes we toured with, he's Egyptian. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what Egypt's about, bro, but like I can talk to him. Like I can figure that weird, dude. I would have never met that dude. Any other circumstance of my life. You live in Washington at the time. Like I would have never met that man. You know what I mean? And music did that. You know what I mean? Music, like I said, dude. I seen Amber Waves with Grain for real. Like for real. You know what I mean? Like I've heard it in the Star Spangled Banner. All that. Oh, cool. But like when you're in Idaho looking at wheat fields in the wind and like the purple mountains in the back, you're just like, bro, that's crazy to me. You know what I mean? Arizona don't got that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's easy to me. Hip hop did that stuff, you know what I mean? So like that's the journey that I've always, and you know, we talk about that, you know what I mean? Like it always seems to come back to that, you know what I mean? Regardless of how far I try to like, all right, I gotta like grow up, you know what I mean? Peter Pan, you know what I mean? I can't do the music thing forever. It's like, but I want to, and
why can't you?
I have to. Like it's
it's something that I've told him. Like music is just part of your blood. It's your passion. It's not something you can just outgrow and be like, okay, it's kiddie stuff, and I've outgrown it. No, it's in your blood. You can do it forever.
And I've asked like
it's a part of you since you were young.
Huge, bro. And like
in you, bro.
More than half my life I've been doing this. You know what I mean? 75% of my life I've been doing music. You know what I mean? And like in some aspect, whether it's instruments or making it, whatever it was. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Like that's always the part that I never understood. You know what I mean? What's after music? Well, what has to be after music? You know what I mean? Nothing. I can just keep making it. You know what I mean? Who cares?
It's endless.
Like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, the Rolling Stones are still doing it. You know what I mean? Like, they'll do it in their 70s, 80s years old. You know what I mean?
Right.
Ozzy Osbourne can barely even walk. And you know what I mean? Like,
when he's on stage,
it clicks, bro. Like, I literally just watched a clip today of Randy Travis. He had all the problems with his throat and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they did like a tribute to him or whatever. And like Carrie Underwood did the song and she sang Forever and Ever, I think is what it's called. And she like sang the song and like he has like something wrong with his vocals, right? Like he can't talk. Right. And she puts the mic to him at the end of the song and he sings the last like amen or whatever it is. And and the crowd fucking erupts, dude. And like I don't listen to country music, but that hits, dude. Like that, bro.
That's what music does.
Bro, it's weird how rhythm will do that to somebody. You know what I mean? Like just the drum, the pattern, the vibration will get you to feel like that, dude. That's a trip to me. Like music is a weird space to be in. But it's nothing but happiness for me. You know what I mean? It's a positive place. It's home. You know what I mean? More than anything. You know what I mean? Because I could be anywhere and write a song. I could be anywhere and write lyrics down. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's free. It's trip, dude. Like that's the thing with hip hop, man. That's why I like. How does someone give that up? How does someone stop? You know what I mean? Like, I love rappers out here. Span Fly. You know what I mean? For example, Span Fly was like the dude, and with Span Fly, like, how do you just stop rapping, bro? Like you don't rap no more. So, you know what I mean? Like, how do you just stop? You know, even within my own camp, like, Slogan, you know what I mean? Blaine, all these cats, I'm still like, why? Like, let's rap. You know what I mean? Like,
you try to reel them in, like,
rap, baby.
positivity. Like, you got this.
I see them, you know what I mean? They're living their lives. It's not like they're, like, in any way, shape, or form needing it. You know what I mean? But, like, how? You know what I mean? How? Because I can go like a couple weeks with like, all right, I'm not going to touch anything. And then I get fiendy, man. It's like, I got to do something. You know what I mean? Like,
but it's also that support system. Like when you have that support system behind you, pushing you and being like, you know what, you can do better. You can be better. And I'm going to push you to do it. And like that also helps to keep stuff going. Like, you know, Blaine and his lady, they have their baby and, you know, like we have our kid and like everybody has their life to live. But music will always bring us back together where we can bring our kids in. And here comes the next generation.
We just got together when Simple was here over this last couple of weekends and that exact thing. It's like, this was the first time we had all the kids together now, which was crazy to me, bro. Like my sister brought her kids, you know what I mean? And then Blaine's kids there, you know what I mean? And then Naomi, you know, our it's just like all these people have now their children here, you know what I mean? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, even me and Corey were talking about that slogan. You know, we were talking about the idea that this would have never happened without hip hop. Like none of us would have met each other without music. None of us would have been in each other's lives. I wouldn't be nieces and nephews now. You know what I mean? From people, again, the chosen family. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would have never had all these people around, dude. And it was one of those moments of like, whoa. You know what I mean? This is bigger than just music. You know, this is what is after music. You know what I mean? Like
you're living it in the moment.
Family, you know what I mean? Like this is a family now, dude. Like we could all stop making music tomorrow, and we're still gonna, you know, spend Easters together, and we're still gonna, you know what I mean? Like
make those kind of adult decisions now. Like when you and I were talking previously, where you had a Theo moment.
Yeah,
remember
the piñata? Like that tripped me out the first time. You know, my niece, she's the oldest now. She's about to be 10 this year. It's crazy. But I remember like it was her first or second birthday, and it was the piñata. Like I'm on the ladder and Simple's on the roof, and you know we're hitting the kids with the fucking thing. You know we're doing, and it was in those moments that you're like, oh my goodness, I'm now the Theo. You know what I mean? I remember how did Theo get on the roof?
Right?
How did he get up there? You know what I mean?
He was
and
just
now
up
like
there.
you see these kids on there like, how do you get up there so fast? And like, oh, the Theos now, bro. Like crazy, bro. And again, that part of me trips out too, because like time is quick like that, man. Like what are you talking about? 10 years ago, I'm on the road. I'm, you know, on tour. We get to Gab. We're doing it. You know what I mean? And like now we're having family get-togethers where we're using Blackstones to make, you know, hamburgers for the kids and make sure they have enough tater tots and you got something to drink and
you'll eat what they don't, drink what they won't finish.
Bro. And like everybody is that now. You know what I mean? Before that's what I said, dude. It was all shenanigans. You know what I mean? Let's do drugs and drink and fucking. Now we're burning a piano because we have to warm it up because it's cold for the kids. Back then it was like, how big can we make the fire, bro? Like, you know what I mean? It was just like the trippiness of how it all is, man. The maturity, the growth. You know what I mean? It's still all there. You know what I mean? And all these cats are still talented. And anyway, like tomorrow I could be like make a song and they'd make something dope. But it's just like, I see it, you know what I mean, firsthand, but I can still be doing it, you know what I mean? And like, that's just how it works sometimes, you know what I mean? And like, at any point, anybody wants to make a song, you know what I mean? Like, let's fucking make a song. You know?
Let's get to it.
That is the fiend for me, man. Like, that joy, you know what I mean? And like, how does that, where do you put that afterwards? And I see that. You put it into your family, you put it into your kids, you put it into growing, you know what I mean? Businesses and life and like,
giving back.
Better, dude, not
gatekeeping stuff, giving jewels to everyone, you know?
The era of the OG, you know, we talk about that a lot. You know what I mean? Like that, it's gone. You know what I mean? That generational gap.
There isn't that anymore.
Tripped out, bro. Like it's a trip because I remember the dudes in the neighborhood, dude. That's what I'm saying. When you watch movies nowadays, it's or you know back then it was funny because you would see that's the dealer from the whole neighborhood will buy an ice cream truck out.
That's Theo Eddie right there.
That's for real. You know what I mean? Like Benlone's buying the truck again, bro. Like let's go. You know what I mean? Whatever.
There's the marihuanos.
Whatever you guys want, get. You know what I mean? And like. Yeah, he was killing and robbing and stealing and doing all kinds of shit, you know, but to me, that dude was just the nicest guy in the neighborhood, bro. He had the cool fucking lowrider car and let us jump
every
in
Sunday,
with him, you know what I mean? Like, he was super cool, you know, bought his shit and would just come drop shit off of my mom, you know what I mean? Hey, I got these at the whatever, here, check this out. Those dudes, you were like, that's fucking cool.
Pillars of the community,
and then you get older and you realize, like, oh shit, now it's not that, you know what I mean? I don't know where it changed or whatever it was, dude, because like, gang started out of community. It was community. Right. You know what I mean? We're going to make
patrol and secure it.
It's going to be community, dude. And it's not that like that anymore. You know what I mean? Like it was everybody parented everyone in the neighborhood. Yeah. You know, Miss Gonzalez down the street could smack you just like my mom could. Yeah. Because she had permission from my mom to smack him if he's acting stupid. And you knew she did it.
And you knew
I'm still going to smack him. You know what I mean? Like it was just how it was. Everyone got treated like how you were treated at home. Nowadays you can't, bro. You can't even tell a kid to quiet. Hey, man, chill out. Because how dare you talk to my kid? You know what I mean? As somebody who works there, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, chill, man. You know what I mean? You can't be doing that. You know what I mean? Parents looking for other people not to parent. That's why I always tell people, man, teach your kids manners because someone else will, and you're gonna get upset, bro. I see it all the time. Yeah, we're like,
that's what we say too.
Like my nieces, like, you guys do what you gotta do at your house. When you're at my house, it is still yes, no, please, thank yous. You know what I mean? I don't know what this. Yeah. I'm sorry, what? You know what I mean? Because as a kid, I would get smacked for talking like that.
So like you're calling, they're being called, and you're like, what?
What?
Oh. Excuse me? Wait.
Monday?
I remember like my mom's older sister, right? My Nana Mickey, you know, it was my tia, but my mom, the age gap. She had us, so she had grandkids. So we called her Nana just because she would watch us and her grandkids. So it was Nana Mickey. That, you know, she was the one that you get out of a seat for a woman. You know what I mean? When adults are talking, you don't talk. You wait. You know what I mean? You come when I talk, when I call you. You know what I mean? You don't what, all that things, and it was backhands. It wasn't like, ha ha ha, don't do that. It was legitimate backhands. We were just like, yo. But yeah, dude, I tell people that all the time, like, teach your kids manners, bro. Teach them yeses and nos, and it'll get them so much farther with people, man. Like, it's a trip, and there's nobody to correct people like that anymore because everyone's so scared. You know what I mean? Even parents don't want to hit their kids, and like,
right.
I'm sorry, I'm not a big whooper. Yeah, I'm not saying, but like, sometimes when kids do get smacked, man, like, I know I did, you know what I mean? Like, there were sometimes I was doing it for attention, yes, for sure. There was other times I was like, I'm gonna push buttons today, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
That's how it is, and like,
I don't know yet. I'll figure it out.
I'm just trying to learn my world. I'm trying to learn what boundaries I have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But somebody was always there to set those kind of boundaries, you know what I mean? I'm gonna let you get so far with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? To this day, I still don't cuss in front of my mother. You know what I mean? That's just something I will not do because, like, nah.
Yeah.
I can't. You know what I mean? My nana weird, bro. Nah. You know what I mean? Not even close. My mom never drank in front of my nana. You know what I mean? Like, even at the parties and stuff, my mom would hide it. Like, she was a teenager. And put it down. Oh, hi. You know, and it's like, respect. You know what I mean? Just manners. Take your hat off. You know what I mean? That's why I told you that story. Like, how me and Simple got close. And, like, even my mom, the first time he came to my crib, like, he took his hat off and shook my mom's hand, you know, nice to meet you. And then he left or whatever. My mom was just like, he was raised right. You know what I mean? Just like that, because he took his hat off. You know what I mean? And like, goes a long way, bro. Yeah, dude, and that goes so much further. And that is gone, bro, because there's nobody there to correct you. You know what I mean? Like, there is nobody there to set those rules when you're not there. You know what I mean? And like, where that changed, I don't know. You know what I mean? Because that was huge, man. Like, manners were everything. You talk to everybody the same. How you want to be treated. All those things are gone, and there's nobody there to correct it. Like the OGs in the neighborhood. Yo, you don't need to be going over there, man.
Right. Don't be walking around. You're supposed to be at school.
Yeah, that, bro. And like, these guys are the furthest thing from school kids. You know what I mean? And they're telling you, what are you doing, bro? Hey, do you need school? You're doing sports this year, right? If you need shoes, let me know, man. You know what I mean? And
right. Let me know. I'll get you something.
It's crazy. You know
it's not like that
at all anymore. Everyone's out for self. You know what I mean? Everyone's like, that doesn't have that community anymore, man. And that's the thing that, you know, we've talked about, like, that OG generation is gone. You know what I mean? I used to be able to look up to people, and now you don't. There's nobody there to like guide you in that. You know what I mean? And it's a trip. And then you look at the now generation coming up, and it's like, people complain about this, that, they don't rap about anything, or, you know, they're talking about shooting and guns. Well, where were you guys at to tell them not to do that? You know what I mean? You can't.
You've been watching it like everyone else. So what are you talking about,
bro? Like, and it's the generational thing too. You know, and I always say that. You know, like, the kids that are happening now. You know, like, their parents were the latchkey generation, where they were on their own. You know what I mean? So there were no rules. It was just make sure you're home. You know what I mean? Lock the door when you get home. That was it.
You pick up the phone.
It was that time where moms worked all night, dads worked, you know what I mean? Whether they were there or not, like, it was those things, you know what I mean? So, like, kids were on their own. Yeah. And now those kids have children now. So what can you really expect? You know what I mean? Like, they didn't have the guidance like the generation before. So that passes on, you know what I mean?
Because you want to be different you don't want to be the version that you grew up in. But, like, does that mean you don't like good parenting, right?
Right.
Long story short, good parenting makes for good kids, right? We learned that Mrs. Ramirez down the street will fuck you up if she hears you even cussing.
It keeps you in line, right?
But then somewhere in between that, it became, I don't want to be like Mrs. Ramirez.
That.
So it isn't. So what I'm trying to say is, it isn't so much the parenting has tweaked.
Right.
Also, the OG thing is tweaked because it's not that they're gone.
Right.
But my point is, good parenting, single mother.
Yeah.
This is that today.
That's what I'm saying.
You hit all the keys.
And that was a big thing. You know, my mom always said this. You know, people go, "You have such good kids." And I go, "But they did that." She used to tell people that. They're like, "No, you had to help with that." But like you said, the product of environment. You know what I mean? It was, I could easily went down any road. So, like, there was that little bit of, like, I don't want to do that. And then because of that rebellious thing, you know, I don't want to be like dad. Yeah. I'm not going to jail like my dad.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm going to stay the furthest away from that. Whatever that means, I'm going to do. You know what I mean? That means straight A's. That means whatever. Staying in the books.
Yes.
Stay in the books then. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that has something, like you said, that has something too. Because, like, I don't want to be like Mr. Ramirez now. I don't want it to be like that. So
but I want it to be that way.
Let my kids cuss because I never got to cuss. You know what I mean? I'm going to let my kids do this because I never got to do it. but you're a pretty good adult now, right?
Yeah.
Like you're here. You know what I mean? You're good. So like, there's some value to that. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't look back like that either. You know what I mean? They don't look up to what was going on before. Like I said, my nana was not playing like that. You know what I mean? You did not. It was those things. You know, my mom talks about that. You know, her mom was a queen. She didn't have to raise her hand when she was in the home. You know what I mean? Whatever she wanted, she just bring her drinks, her food, everything. You know what I mean? That doesn't happen these days. You know what I mean? The idea of like opening the door for your lady, like that's gone. You know what I mean?
Trip out when I do that for her.
That's what there's like levels. That's what I'm saying. Like that is scary, bro. Because like that was such a normal thing. You know, the whole walking on the sidewalk. You get on.
Yeah.
I see it all the time, bro. I get mad.
Don't go in the purse.
Bro, I'm driving down the street and I'll see someone walking like that. Look at this chump, bro.
Right?
Who raised you?
Like, what the fuck?
Nah, my theos would be on my ass about it. What are you doing, bro? Like as much again,
sister, whoever you're on the side, bro. You get hit first.
Trippy, bro.
Because you're gonna get hit first if you did it.
That was the rule. Like that was the thing. You're the protector. You're supposed to do that. You know what I mean? And like that is not even a thing anymore. You know what I mean? Like those little things that you didn't think much of at the time, like, are so monumental now. Like you said, it's a big deal for them to open the door for you. Like what?
Yeah.
For older folks,
compliments from it, like, oh, that's great that you still do that. You're a great husband, and it's like, well, no, that's
me.
What?
Yeah, that's me. No one taught me that but me. I didn't do that with nobody before her. Just her.
The also thing that I noticed is working, you know, like in retail, working on customer service a lot, dude. It's like the yes ma'am, no ma'am. People hate that. Please don't call me ma'am.
Oh, I know. Like you're calling old.
Well, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like,
washed.
Like, that it's the trippiest thing to me, man. Because I'm like, that's just manners, and you don't want my manners now. Like you're trying to dig. Like I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Like
a 30-something-year-old, late 30s lady would be like you're calling them,
bro,
senora, like they're 75. No, soy señor.
That's just what my mom taught me. Like, because your mom didn't teach you that. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. But like, I can't change that for me. You know what I mean? I get that. Everybody, dude. My boss and everybody. Please don't call me ma'am. You're a person of superiority. You know what I mean?
You're showing you respect right now. You don't know about this either?
I call my girlfriend ma'am. You know what I mean? When she asks me a question, yes ma'am. You know what I mean? It's just ingrained in my vernacular at this point. Nothing to do with Adrian. It was just what it was because I was not going to get smacked.
Where we come from. That's the household.
I want to get smacked.
As crazy as you could get a chancla or a pinch, a piscada, or a pull of your ear.
Right.
That surrounding made it for you today. And people forget that. The older folks are like, also though, like the parent. Right now I'm catching all this. The parent is the OG.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because the OGs before them are all before everyone.
That's what I'm saying.
It stopped getting pushed down, but like you did bring up something also when we were talking previously was the new I don't want to be like Mrs. Ramirez.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting all this right now. It's all just sort of clicking.
Yeah.
Is what you also told me of for my niece, I want to teach her to be a good human, a good person. Right. So I bring you around my chosen family to show you what good people is that go over the black skillet or go making Easter.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's huge. Yeah. It's huge because like a village, it really takes a village. I was raised by a village. You know what I mean?
Same.
Like, I want that for my nieces and nephews. You know what I mean? I want them to come up with family, with traditions. You know what I mean? Like, they talk about this a lot and it's weird, but like once your nana passes, it's over. Like family is over. You don't do the Easters anymore. Like I remember being a kid and like the whole family would go to the park and the Theos would get up, you know, at butt crack of dawn to go save the spots and rope it all off. And we do these big functions and Halloween parties and everything was so big. And then like once my nana passed, you know, the family kind of separated and like that stopped. You know what I mean? Or like the little factions would do it. These three aunts would get together.
They would try so hard to get everyone.
Uncles would get together. And it was just like, why can't we all just get together? Well, now we don't have anything to be connected to anymore. So I don't have to be nice to you because Nana's not here anymore. And it's like, what is that? You know what I mean?
That is so crazy. So me growing up, I did get hit. I got smacked in the ass beat. I was actually the mother figure to my little brother. Right. You know, we're 3 years apart. But I didn't grow up with my grandparents. My grandparents were never around. My uncles were never around. My aunt was around every once in a while. So I didn't get that family vibe. It was always just my mom, my brother, and I, because my dad was always working. And I was the parent to my mother, too.
Right.
So me growing up, I always felt like I was that parent. So now as an adult and having a child, I'm like, okay, I need to find my own traditions.
Right.
And get my own family together. Yes. And then we have our chosen family, because it wasn't until he and I got together that I started meeting like you and Simple and like, a bunch of other people like Kenny and Prem and everybody. And I was like, okay, this is my chosen family. Right. And these are the people that I invite to all of our gatherings, whether it's for Alexis or whether it's for us. Like, so it's crazy to me that I've never had that blood family together. Right. It's always been just my chosen family. And
that to me is fucking cool as shit, because like if I could have thought, or I would have figured this out sooner, that's how the route I would have took. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me like, I don't even communicate with my dad's side at all anymore. You know what I mean? Like, again, since I really don't have any ties to them. You know, because of my mom keeping me away from them to stay out of trouble. You know,
for the greater good of you and your future.
Close to begin with. You know what I mean? But like, I've always had family. You know what I mean? It was always those functions. I remember being a kid and like, all the kids have to go to the bathroom now. And they would all stick us in the bathrooms and then hide all the eggs, and then all the kids could come out. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you see families doing that now, and you go on Easter Sundays, dude, you don't see that as much. No. You know what I mean? The parks are kind of empty still, and you're just like, what is that? You know what I mean? Because it was such a big thing. And like, but again, the chosen family thing versus like the blood family, dude. Again, I wish I would have had the more of the chosen side, because it was a lot more turmoil with the having to be there, and my cousins are fighting with them, and dad doesn't like that dad, and my tia's second husband is here now, and like, why is she here? You know,
that's not your cousin Ramiro anymore, but he's still here.
Bro, it was those things. You remember your cousin? I've never met them in my life. You did.
My mom did that to me a couple months ago. She's like, you remember my cousin, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. You're like, oh, well, he wants to get to know us. Okay. I don't know who this person is.
Bro, they're a stranger to me. I can't.
And that's the other thing, too. Is
I'm supposed to be family, and you're stranger.
Yeah, well, I'm like, yo, I'm an adult now, so, like, I don't need to have them in my life. You know what I mean? Like, I get it as kids. Cool. Right, I get it as kids. Like, okay, you're my cousin. Cool. But, like, I'm grown, and you're grown, and, like, you know,
yeah, nah, we're not the same.
Like, it's cool. Like, I'm cool.
If I'm in town, and I see you in the little town, I'll say what's up to you.
Right.
But I don't really know.
I'm not going to your birthday party. You know what I mean? Like,
you don't invite me, and it's all right.
It's cool.
Nothing personal.
I don't know you. It's fine. You know what I mean? I have cousins that I know only because of Facebook. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I know them. I was kids with them at one point. You know what I mean? It's been 30 years since I've seen some of these cats, bro. And I'm like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, I don't necessarily even know your life. You know what I mean?
You grow apart in your blood family because, again, it's coming to me right now. Your family is the first. Your blood family is the first to show you the structure of how it could go wrong. Because again, the traumas of bad times, whatever those are for people, shadows the good times. Yeah. The good times get jumbled in there and you forget. 100%. Until a smell, a taste, or something. But our families teach us to some degree. Right. Until we decide to be that different. You know, it shows us this is how life is going to fracture. Right. If you don't communicate, or this is how you communicate, cool. To your point, hey, cousin Javier, sorry, but like, I might be in this little town. I might see you, but if not, it's all good, fool. Right, like if we know how to be the not. If you Hernandez
stuck outside my crib at 3 a.m. and you're like, "Fuck, I think my cousin lives right here." Like, yeah, I'd help you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that's about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's no like,
we're not family tied. No,
it's weird. But if Simple called me right now, I'll drive 6 hours to Texas. You know, right now, I'll leave here right now. You know what I mean?
I got you, fool. Boom.
Weird how that works. You know what I mean? And like, I have all my families here. You know what I mean? I don't see them. You know what I mean? I don't. Again, it was very much like that. Like, my mom kept me and my sisters away from everybody. Mm-hmm. So my mom always told us, just us. You guys are all we have. You know what I mean? This is all we have. So it was that same thing. You know, we went to parties. We just sat next to my mom. I didn't want to go play with my cousins. I don't know that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Well, say hi to your tia. I don't know her. I don't know her.
I just do hi.
Let's see it real quick. Bye. And then, you know, Mexican, don't be shy. Go. And you're like, I'm not being shy. I don't know you. You told me not to talk to strangers. And these are all strangers. Mom.
Yeah, I don't know them, Mom.
I don't know them. You know your cousin Gordo. You know him.
You know Coco.
I don't know them. I don't remember. You guys swam in the canal.
You breakdanced when you guys were in 6th grade.
Okay, like, I don't remember. You know what I mean? I have a picture with you guys, and we're both in diapers. Like,
bust out the picture, too, bro. Mira.
I don't know him. I'm so, hey, nice to meet you, brother. I'm like, it's cool. You know what I mean? Right on. You like tacos? I do too. You know what I mean? Like,
right, cool. With it, Grandma's food, cool. All right.
It was those things, man. It was just like, it was never. And now it's like the exact opposite with the chosen family. You know what I mean? Because like that, and like I said, I was talking to him. Like, I want my nieces to be around the people I deem fit. as opposed to people you have to deal with because they're blood. That's weird to me. That's weird. And like, since that separation happened, it makes more sense now. You know what I mean? As I got older and as I see things more, I'm like, oh, at some points I wish, like, man, there's been times where, where you get into some shit and I'm like, you guys are lucky I'm not cutting my cousins right now because all this shit will blow the fuck.
Right, real quick.
There's some times like that for sure. You know what I mean? There's times
because it's real. You're not just gonna pull the card because you can.
Because I can't.
It's that serious.
So I gotta call them. I remember being. I told you this, like being in elementary school and starting the new school, but it was the neighborhood school that our whole family had pipelined through, and being called the first day into the principal's office.
Oh.
Okay, so like we know your family, we're not expecting anything like that out of you, right? Like that kind of, it was that conversation. That's not necessarily those words, but it was like, we're here for you. Okay, cool. Thank you. We're very familiar with your cousin Jose and your cousin this and your cousin that. Cool. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not here for that. Yes. I'm only here because, again, life happens and you have to move in with Nana and now there's 17 people in the house. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Now we're all walking to school again.
And it's normal.
And that's what it was. You know what I mean? Like, everybody did that. When you come out of the house in the morning, all the kids would come out of the house to walk to school because it was in the neighborhood. Right. You know what I mean? And a million fucking kids every morning. You know what I mean? And you would run into people and see people and, like, that even has changed. You know what I mean? I would never let my kid walk to school now. You know what I mean? And back then it was like, the 11-year-old's the oldest.
Follow, go. Yeah.
And here we go, all 8 of us.
But in a crazy time of literal, like, snatching up of kids or like rivalries of neighborhoods, and this is the best time to get them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, those are the things. You've been in houses of drive-bys. I've been in raids. You know what I mean? I have nothing to do with it, but I've been there. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I don't know these people. You know what I mean? I'm here because my mom dropped me off. Like, what do you want me to do?
I mean, I grew up in the Lower Valley, which is like literally bordered with Juarez. Like, you're 5-minute walk.
Right.
Mom's house right there. Juarez. So that was the easiest way to get snatched up, but we would all go.
It was just the thing. Like, nobody thought like that. That's the thing, too, is like, it was always around for sure. You know what I mean? You had people doing these things and like, but it was, again, it's the weirdest thing. But like nowadays you hear so much about like child crimes, right? Like stuff that, what? You know what I mean? Like that was, I could never imagine that growing up. You know what I mean? I never, and yeah, they were around. You knew, you know what I mean? Right. Don't go to fucking so-and-so's house.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Don't go over there. Don't go talk to that man. You don't need to say nothing to him. You know what I mean? Okay, I get it.
Right.
But like, it's blatant now, I feel, where it's like scary, man. Like,
it's a different time. So you gotta teach them to be good humans and bring them
It's a trip.
Because you're the difference, bro. You're the change.
You have to make the generation
in the bloodline
better. You know what I mean? And like, I don't have kids myself, you know what I mean? But like, I have nieces and nephews from everywhere, you know what I mean? And like, I want to be that. I want to be a good example around them. I have a potty mouth. You know what I mean? I cuss like a damn sailor, and I try not to around the kids. Because, like, again, it's just those things. You know what I mean? But like, it's trippy how you want to make the difference. And you know what I mean? Like you said, you don't think about the OG status, and the parents really are. You know what I mean? Because
they are.
Those are who the kids have now. You know what I mean?
Whoever your nana was, like you said, your nana was really your tia, but that's your nana.
That's what I'm saying.
Whatever parent
levels. You know what I mean? Like I want that for my nieces and nephews, man. Like we were talking about, I want them to be able to know they can count on Blaine the same way they can count on me if something were to go wrong. You know what I mean? You find
Simple anywhere.
In El Paso, for whatever reason you're in El Paso and you get stuck, I want you to know you can call Simple and he's going to pick you up and feed you and treat you like I would. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is something I got to choose, because these are the people who do that for me. So I know they would do that for you guys in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's that same thing. You know what I mean? Like, I just that vibe. You know what I mean? That culture needs to be bred early. You know what I mean? Before we have another set of kids who don't know what the hell they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Scary, bro.
Show them a different version. Like
how much, the commercials, bro, kids are the future, kids are the future. You don't hear about that anymore. You know what I mean? Like
none.
People used to invest in that idea. You know what I mean? And nowadays it's
now it's really like Life 360 and like
and your thumbs got calf muscles and your neck you're like fucking Hunchback of Notre Dame and shit.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's a trip.
And they're sensitive to again earlier. You can't tell these certain demographic of young kids now shit because they'll call the cops. There's so much like child safety, but there isn't child safety.
It's true, because I remember being a spazzy ass kid and threatening my mom. I'll call fucking CPS right now. Do it. They're gonna take you, not me. And
You're like, oh,
you're right.
I won't be here.
Right, everybody, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, my mom will say shit like that, and like, as fucked up as it sounds, like she was very honest with shit like that because it was like, I'm not gonna protect you from this shit. Because it's for real out here. You know what I mean?
I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm not. You know what I mean?
And I'm never going to.
That was it. But like, go back to your point you were saying earlier, bro, like, something I've learned is like, I know the first person who's going to disappoint you is your parents. Their first person who's going to tell the lie. That you're going to go, oh, you know what I mean? I can't believe this.
30 years later, the light comes out and you're like, what the fuck?
I remember I told you this story, like being 10 and seeing my mom smoke weed. I was a dare kid. I signed the pledges. I wrote the letters.
You took it serious.
I was a dare kid, dude. I won contests for my writings about how I have an addicted dad and all this shit. You know what I mean? And an alcoholic father. And my mom was a saint. You know what I mean? And like, I remember being at a party. It was at one of my cousin's parties, and all the kids were in the house because all the adults were in the backyard. And it was an adult party. You know, the conda piñata. It was like one of those kind of parties. So like, we couldn't be out there. And I remember I had to ask my mom something, and I had to ask her. Because it was important for a 10-year-old to ask her a question at that moment. Yeah. And I remember sliding the blinds over and my mom literally hitting the joint and then passing it to my cousin. It shattered my fucking world. My mom's a drug addict.
Right.
I didn't know.
I'm gonna lose everything.
That was it. You know what I mean? That was, I put that in the lyric. You know, I found out my parents lied ever since been curious because I'm like, then what the fuck else has she been lying about? Is the Easter Bunny real too, Mom, or not?
Yeah.
She's like, what do you mean? You told me to go to bed or Santa's not coming. You know what I mean? Is that a lie, Mom?
The tooth fairy or whatever. The kukui.
It fucked me up because like, that was it. Like, how can you tell me these things and I'm supposed to take your word for this and you lied to me?
Yeah.
Changes my whole fucking world, dude. And like, again, my mom didn't think nothing of it. You know what I mean? She was like, no, Mio, it's nothing bad. And it's like a cigarette. And like, cool, but it's drugs. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, oh my God. Years later, I found, my mom was selling the shit to everybody. Like, and again, allegedly. I had no fucking clue. You know what I mean? No, right. Limitations though. But like, it's one of those things that I remember being like, and it made everybody called my mom Tia. Everybody in the fucking neighborhood.
The homie getting shoes for the neighborhood. Your mom. Again, OG. Mom, look at how you did that. The OG was your mom.
Flip me the fuck out, bro. So it was like, I remember that. People coming up to the car and like, hey, Tia, how you doing, bro? And my mom reaching into her purse and handing. I'm in the back seat, not thinking nothing of it, though, because that's my cousin Eric. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cousin, fucking whatever. I'm fucking chilling. I'm playing my little games. I got my little ninja guys in the back. You know, I'm chilling, bro. I got my little 25-6 games. You know, I'm chilling. Didn't think nothing of it until years fucking later, doing it myself and getting into the the wrong crowds. You're seeing that shit. You're like, my mom was fucking handing bags out to people. Dog. And then I remember like serving the blood. Oh, I remember like talking to my mom years later, like you said, but years later, and we're talking about like weights. How back in the day, the finger scale. My mom was just
hey, fool, I see the
finger scale, bro.
What do you want, 3?
Mom, what do you know about the fucking fingers? What? You're really selling weed? Like. Well, yeah, fool. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I'm a single mom. Like, what do you want me to do? How do you guys think I fucking fed you? Like,
why do you think I always why do you think I always ask you for a nickel so I can make sure the scale, the one with the nickel, you like, oh, that's on.
Trippy, bro. Like, those are those full circle moments where you're like, damn, what wasn't real? What was real at that point? You know what I mean? Was that really my cousin? You know what I mean? Was that really not my cousin? You know what I mean? Like, I don't fucking know.
Again, you'll make friends with complete strangers because of those moments, but the real strangers in your life sometimes are your blood family.
Those people, bro. Those are the ones that got the skeletons. You know what I mean?
Right. That's
a trip too that you say that. Yeah, that's wow. Yeah, because that's 100%, bro. Like with all the chosen family, it's all on Front Street, bro. I know everything about these cats. You know what I mean?
We're honest.
I can know everything about cats, bro. I know who their kids are. I know what they're doing. You know what I mean? I get that. I couldn't tell you one thing about somebody I'm related to. You know what I mean? In that same regard. I couldn't tell you a fucking thing.
Kenny says that shit. He's like, if we're really good, have you ever come to my daughter's birthday? Do you know her birthday?
Right.
Yeah.
Do you even know, other than what I call her, do you know her nickname?
That fool. You know what I mean?
What she likes, what she does?
Give them nicknames. You know what I mean? I got
right. What's your nickname for? What does she call you,
bro? Because like we're not playing that. You know what I mean? I was never. That's the thing, bro. Hearing my name is always a trip. Because I'm older now, people say my name. You know what I mean? I'm in a workspace. People say my name.
Right.
Weird, bro. I don't know that. Because in the hip hop community, I'm never by my name. You know what I mean? It's Puritan. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. But then, like, you work in real life, it's Robert. And people talk to you, and you're just like, oh.
It's like the first time he told me, he's like, I'm going to go talk to Robert today. And I'm like, who? And he was like, Puritan. I was like, oh, that's his name.
I tell people, bro, it wasn't until fucking Facebook made you put your real name. That
I never fell for that.
So I put my name in, whatever, cool. Put my name on.
Now send your ID.
Fucking Joe Schmo commenting on his shit. Who the fuck is that? I never. Oh shit, that's fucking rapper guy. You know what I mean?
That's the rapper fool?
Because I didn't know, bro. Like I didn't know your fucking name for the longest goddamn time. I know like that for everything. Fool. I just found out that Simple has a middle name. Literally 2 weeks ago. I never knew that, bro. Like,
oh wow,
it's a trip, bro. Because like again, it's just the rap.
It's a different time though too.
I know people who don't know Simple's name at all. They just know Simple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's cool as shit to me. You know what I mean?
You're just that.
I say Corey, and people are like, who? Oh, Slogan. Because everyone knows him as Slogan. Everyone knows him as Slogan. They don't know him as Corey. I know him as Corey.
Or if they call him Slogan, you're like, oh, you know him.
Oh, that's how you can tell. You know,
now you know Slogan or Corey Hill.
That's the weird thing, because that's the gay thing again, bro. Like, it was like, who do you know at this place? You know what I mean? Oh, you know Bob Domestic? Yeah, I know Bob Domestic. Oh, then you're cool, then. You know, okay. You know what I mean? Trippy, bro. Everyone can do that. Like, again, from where you from? You know, Spooky? Fool, you ain't from here, then. You know what I mean? It's like, bro,
fool, but I know Nathaniel, fool. He lives on the corner.
I'm saying.
Such and such. Orale, yeah. He's a little weird. He's a little weird. Bro. You call him little weirdo.
Bro, that's it.
But he's not from the set. He just lives in the set.
It's a trip how that all kind of like full circles, bro. Because, I do that all the time. I don't know nobody's name, bro.
It's crazy. Like, you know, you're saying it's Done One or it's Bob Domestic or it's Blaine Coffee.
Right. Bro, that's a fucked up name, bro. How do you get a cool ass name by birthright?
Right.
Oh, damn. I was about to ask if that was wrong.
That's a legal fucking name.
But that's my point is, after this particular time, I had to reevaluate some shit, and I was like, I need to know Robert.
Right.
He needs to know Jose.
Yeah.
I need to know Marie.
Right.
I need to know fucking Angel.
Right.
I need to know Kenny a little bit more.
Right.
Those things are important.
Big, man.
That's the part of the family, I got you, fool.
That's the legacy.
She'll tell you that, too. In the beginning, she didn't understand it. Again, we all come from different backgrounds. The three of us have way different backgrounds and friendships and how those are built. And she was like, why the fuck are you dropping everything for fools?
Right.
Well, because they're my family. And that's where I come from. My homies in Maryville in my family.
Right.
I just help weed people out.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, you're dropping everything for the wrong people.
That's the thing, too.
That's the hard part, is trying to, like, separate out, like, okay, who are the right people to drop shit for and who are the wrong people? And it's like, you have to learn the hard way,
unfortunately, yeah.
Because you won't listen until it happens in real time.
It's just that, again, growing up with loyalty is everything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
To a default, though.
That's a
happen.
big thing for me, man, because, like, same, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a drinker, you know what I mean? But, like, trying to be loyal to the right people make you drink. You know what I mean? No, I'm going to get drunk with you, bro, because that's what we do. You know what I mean? Oh, I don't do this. I'm going to go do that with you, though, because I'm loyal to you. You know, whatever you want to put me in a position to fuck up my life, that's okay. Because you're my friend, though. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to be cool. I've been in those positions where you're just like, bro, I would never fucking be here. And it can be something simple, bro. You know, I've told people that, bro. Like, even with homies I've had back in the day that I don't even talk to anymore, like cheating on their ladies, bro. Don't put me in that.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me, bro. Like, I don't want anything to do with that. Don't make me be the lie. You know what I mean? Oh, I was chilling with... No, you weren't, bro. I'm going to...
No.
They said they were chilling. No, fucking we're not. Like,
I was writing a song. Matter of fact, this is it.
But you know what I mean? Like, that to me is crazy, bro. Because, like, it's a matter of, like, don't test the loyalty on some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Fuck yeah, exactly.
I'll show up for you if I really needed to, bro, but shit like that makes me question it. You know what I mean? At that point, then it's not right.
You're telling me to lie for you? What are you lying to me about then?
Bro, like, you know what I mean? I'll hold it for you, bro, but like, why bring it to my crib? You know what I mean? Don't bring that shit.
Bring it in the first place.
Like, why this? You know what I mean?
I don't live...
Weird consequences, bro. Like those things, bro. Because loyalty can be a blind default. My lady says the same thing sometimes. You're just like, bro, let it go. I can't, bro. Like, there's something ingrained with that shit, bro. Like, because he did something for me 10 years ago, 15 years ago that, like, I can't really say, but he did it.
Right, and I know he did it. He knows that I know.
You know what I mean? Like, there's just certain things. There's people I have in my life that, like, again, they can't even come to my house. You know what I mean? They're not allowed there. You know what I mean? Right. People who, like, the dude who got me into hip hop, you know, the guy, like, he's not allowed at the crib because of his character, because of his person. You know what I mean? And my girl being a fucking protector of me, you know what I mean? Nah, you don't need that. You know what I mean? I hadn't talked to him in years. And then when he came back around, she met him one fucking time. I was like, no, you don't need this. You know what I mean? But I'm like, you don't understand. he was the reason I got into rap. He provided me, this dude knew how to get a job, you know what I mean? So he legitimately, he rapped too. So he was like, if we're really going to rap, bro, I'll buy the equipment. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, that's cool. I don't have that. You know what I mean? And he did. He went and got a Mac and a fucking nice mic. And we did all. And dude, none of us knew how to record shit. So we bought Pro Tool. I mean, spent money doing this shit. So like, there was like all these things, you know what I mean? And then of course stuff outside that, you know what I mean? Just street shit. And it was just like, fuck. You know what I mean? I can't though. Like, I can't be like, no, I don't want to talk to you ever again. You know what I mean? Because it's different. Is she right? 100%. You know what I mean? Because like, I knew better, even letting him come back around again. But it was like, it's been 10 years. Shit's different.
It'll be different.
Again, you see these images online. You know, he's got kids. He's got a wife now. He's the same kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same, and even more so because like, now you're trying to like relive these 17-year-old moments. You know what I mean? We're not kids, bro. Yeah. You remember that one time? You remember that? I do, bro. But like, what about now? Like, let's make now times. You know what I mean? Like,
let's make them right now.
Because that's what it is, bro. And then you get stuck because of that. You feel some type of like, I need to be there. Like, whatever that may be. You know what I mean? Like, don't. Like, it's just not. It's only going to harm you more than anything. You know what I mean? It's gonna, again, I don't bring queso to my house. You know what I mean? Don't do that shit, man. Don't do that shit.
Why did you give me champagne?
Like, I get it, bro.
Do you know me?
That. Like, I get it, but like, don't. You know what I mean? Like, that can fuck you up, man. Yeah. And like, I've been in those positions where it's the hardest thing in the world sometimes because, again, like you said, he really did me a favor that one time, bro. Whatever it fucking was, you know, he helped my mom out that one time, seriously helped her out because I couldn't. I owe you for that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've repaid you 1,000,000 times over already, sure. But there's something.
It's ingrained in you.
Whatever it is,
and,
bro.
And that's why I like our partners. You know, you and your lady are very welcoming whenever I come by. They're very welcoming too. And it's sacred to be allowing someone in your home.
It's huge, man.
So our significant others are always the ones to, in a way, give us a reality check. Hey, son, hey, you know, you said like, we just kick it.
Yeah, it's the eyes.
We got a plan. But you know what?
On the outside though,
we got to bond. We got to be
because you go blind to some of that shit. You know, because again,
you're too much aquí.
Yeah,
and sometimes you need someone to.
And she just literally that, bro. Because that whole day, like, it was fine when we got together. We did a song. Everything was cool. You know what I mean? But there was always those little like things that it was just being said or done, and it was like, this is what this for. You know what I mean? Like, this is why I got. You know, it was all those things clicking and like. Was I going to tell my girl that? No. You know what I mean? I was just going to let that ride. Whatever. That was for me. And then literally he left and she was like, I don't think I want him here anymore. I just don't like him. Like, I don't feel good. You know what I mean? Like, my home felt disturbed.
Right.
And like, me, again, I bounced around a lot as a kid. I lived in all kinds of cars and whatever. You know, I've done a lot. So like, home isn't a thing like that for me. For her, it is. You know, she grew up in a childhood home. She was raised in a home. You know what I mean? With her brothers and sisters. She had a big family. You know what I mean? So like, a home. And she makes it her home. And like, I don't know. I always told her that. You know what I mean? Like, she asked me, what do you think I should put on the walls? And what? I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. Like,
whatever you
want. I don't
want.
really care because like, that's not the home part of it to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Home is me, her, and my dog. You know what I mean? Like, that is home. You know, we can be anywhere. That's home. So like, those things don't matter to me, but it does to her. You know what I mean? And like, I'm not going to disturb her peace. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who it is. You know, if it's my own family, you know, my sister, whoever. If she's not wanting people over that day, whatever it is, it's not happening. You know what I mean? I don't care
the team
because that's it. You know what I mean? This is her home. So like anybody who she doesn't want around, it's just not going to be around. That's just what it is because the respect factor is huge. Because like you said, bro, it's a big thing that allows someone to come into where you sleep. You know what I mean? Like I sleep, bro.
I sleep, I unwind, I zen, everything.
Everything is here, bro. Like it's those things and like. It's a warming thing. Like the first time I went to Simple's crib, you know what I mean? Like his mom's was there, you know, Mama Simple, you know,
right,
just like that. You know what I mean? You walk in and you're just like, oh, this is home. You know what I mean? Because she welcomes you in, and I'm not going to disrespect that. You know what I mean? Where do you want me to put my stuff? Where would you like me to? You know, do you need help with that? You know, I can wash these dishes. You know what I mean? Like,
don't do it.
Again, the manners of being in someone else's home.
Because it's like, bro, like, because again, it's that golden rule, man. Like, treat others how you want to be treated. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want someone coming in here doing that to my crib, bro. That's crazy. You know what I mean?
Never, right.
So who am I to do that to someone else? You know what I mean? It's the mentality I've had because of sister. I've always like I've never been a player, cheater type of dude because like since I was little, my mom always instilled this is all we have. Your sisters are all you have. So like in my head, no matter when I started dating and all that shit in high school, who am I to do that if I don't want someone doing that to my sister? You know what I mean?
Yes.
If I'm going to cheat on this girl, someone do that to my sister, well, how would I feel? I would fucking kill that dude.
Yeah.
So who am I to do that to somebody? You know what I mean? Like, there's always this mentality thing. And again, that's just how I've always worked. Like, logic is always 1 + 1. It's always, well, if I don't want that, then why would I do it? You know what I mean? Like, if I'm not, like, I've heard a quote, you know, if you're ashamed to do something, you shouldn't be doing it. If you're not willing to out loud talk about what you're doing and like be proud of it, then don't be fucking doing it. You know what I mean? Like, so I've always had that mentality as well, where it's like, all right, if I'm not willing to talk about it, why am I doing it? What is it doing for me? You know what I mean? Like, logic, 1 + 1 = 2. You know what I mean? And like, that golden rule is a trip, dude, because like, that's it. And you just don't see that anymore. Everyone's like, me. You're part of my world now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the main character. You're
going to contribute because I said, here. No.
That's super weird. Like,
I'm an extra in your fucking life?
and like, as weird as it is, like, when people talk about that, like, perspective is everything, right? Like, everyone is their own main character. You don't think about it outside. It's super weird and it gets all like theological and shit when you sit there and think about that, bro. Because like, it's true. Like, I can't think of what she's thinking, can't think what you're thinking. We can all sit in the same space looking at the same thing and all be thinking different things. You know what I mean? Like, that's a trip in human nature. You know what I mean? So, like, that idea of like, well, then if I'm putting out good, I'm going to get back good. That's all we need to worry about. You know what I mean? Most people don't these days. You know, I was just talking to someone at work about that. Like, COVID made people entitled. Like, the entitlement grew.
Yeah.
There is no, you know, just welcoming people on a level of humanity. You know what I mean? Hey, how are you today? Gone. You know what I mean? People don't even, oh, excuse me, sir. Nothing. You know, it's just immediately, can you tell me this? Where's this at?
Where's the pasta at?
I'm sorry. Hi, how are you? You know what I mean? Like, geez, dude, that's gone.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Crazy to me, dude. I could never. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand.
People don't read other people anymore.
It's gone, bro. And like, not even that, but I feel like they don't even care to. Like, it's not even why. It's my world, dude. Like, you should bend for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm merging into traffic, dude. Everyone should be out of my way. You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter. I'm not using a blinker.
Merging.
People stop at a yield.
Bro, it trips me. Just like life in general is a trip sometimes, dude. And like, I always tell people, you know, comedy writes itself. You know what I mean? Like, but it's like that for everything. You know what I mean? You just watch life sometimes happen around you. It's like, bro, is this real for real? Like, this can't be. You know what I mean? Like, trippy world we live in, man. And like, I want to contribute the best I can to that. And like, regardless of what that is, you know, whether it's through music, whether it's through, you know, the community, whether it's through raising these kids, you know what I mean? Like, those are the impacts. You know what I mean? Everyone wants the money, car, clothes thing. And like, materialistic is one thing too. The tangible is also a thing. You know what I mean? Because bills are real. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with wanting the money. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with striving for more success in that regard. But it's like, that shouldn't be the only reason anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's what I liken to how like technology is supposed to be in cahoots with nature. You know what I mean? Technology is supposed to help nature improve. And the opposite of that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we use more fossil fuel to, you know,
to forward ourselves.
Bro,
we're
like,
killing the earth.
The whole cobalt mining thing, you know, for the phones, it's, dude, like, you're willing to trade people's lives to have your newest iPhones. You know what I mean? Like,
you're mining some crazy shit that they're going to die from.
And like, I'm like, of course, everyone's a hypocrite. You know what I mean? Everyone's doing those things. You know, I always laugh because I forgot what comedian said it. He's like, ever trip anyone out that the people who are screaming about climate change have to drive their tour bus to go talk to the next place about climate change. You know what I mean? And it was like, we're like, you know, Taylor Swift, that was the big thing. It's like, she was all about the environment, but she takes a private jet everywhere. You know what I mean? And it was like, weird constructs, man. Like, image is everything these days. And like, as long as you portray you're doing something, dude, people are okay with that.
That's something that Hot Rock said. He said, I wanted to be the fakest, realest hip hop artist. I got fake jewelry, fake hair, fake. This all is for a version you've never seen in hip hop. So I'm gonna be the realest, fakest motherfucker. I'm paraphrasing what he said, 100%. But it's the juxtapose of what you're saying. The opposite is like,
he's one of those dudes.
Oh, he's rich.
That,
you know, the image, like, oh, he's a rich
bro. I didn't even know what he looked like outside of the getup.
See, dude, that's the thing.
Met this dude at Third Space and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen him, and he's come up. He's like, "Hey, man, whatever." And you're like, "Thanks, dude." And then, like, adding him on Facebook, you see his real. You're like, "Oh shit,
it's him."
That's crazy.
That's Hot Rock.
Like I said, dude, one of the coolest things with Hot Rock, dude. I remember we did a show one time, and like, it was like, what was it at? I think it was the Old Red Owl.
Okay.
We did a show somewhere, dude, and I remember he was performing, right? And he comes out after, dude, and he's just like, man, like, I have so much respect for what you do. And I'm like, at the time, again, theatrics, entertainment, you know what I mean? I'm like, nah, bro, you're up here in like skinny leather pants and a scarf, dude. Like, that takes balls. You know what I mean? That's
Right. You're putting on a persona.
He literally goes, nah. He goes, because you guys go up there, right? And you guys pour your hearts out onto these songs. You know what I mean? And if people don't like it, that hurts, man. That's personal. He's like, me, I can take the wig off. I can take all this off and nobody knows anything anymore. Dude, that was Hot Rock to the joint, bro. And like, since then, I've been a fucking fan, dude. Like,
Yes, good guy.
that's crazy to me. Oh, yeah, bro. We listen to the meditation shits all the time.
Yes.
Simple onto that. They listen to the meditation shits like Shaka Khan's, baby.
Yes.
Like, the shit's tight.
Your chakra got to be Shaka Khan.
So it was like those things, bro. Like, he said that, and like, I always felt life writes itself. You know what I mean? Those are those little things I like, whatever will stick with me. Because he said that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you have the most guts, and you're like, like, how do you dress like that? You know what I mean? I remember being in another show where he said the same thing. He did a song, no one clapped, right? Like, immediately after the song, no one clapped. And then everyone kind of like that awkward pause, and then people are like, oh, hey. He's like, no. Don't fucking clap now.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't give a fuck. You think I give a fuck? Yeah, I'm up here in lady jeans right now. You think I give a fuck what you people think? And that was another thing, dude. That stuck with me forever. It's those things where I'm like, yeah. What the hell do I give a hell what these people think about? You know what I mean? This dude's up here in a wig and shit right now, killing it. You know what I mean? I need some wig.
And he's still being real.
100%.
The realness, like you're being real.
He is just an exaggerated version of himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a head. He really does this shit. He's a music.
He's figured out his niche.
And he mixed those together and made this character, bro, and lived that character. Like, crazy. Again, I would have never known who the hell he was. Ever, unless someone, I think it was even Mike, I was like, who is?
Right. No way. That's not him. Where's his hair?
No, I thought like
that's what she said.
Bro, threw me off, dude. Like, again, he was running the label for a little bit at the time.
Yeah.
56th Street Records.
Yes, that's exactly what I was talking about.
That's how I met all these cats, bro. Like, that's how I met him. I met Orangutan. I met like all
the cats, dope ass,
bro. Like, I think it was at that same show I saw Orangutan up there. He talked. I don't remember the damn song, but I just remember him talking about like picking up a hooker and like some funny shit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
This is also hip hop though. Like, this is also rap. You know what I mean? Like, you got an optimal on the set, you know what I mean? Or prophetical, like all different wordsmiths in there. Like, dude, and then you have the hot rock, which is just as much as anything. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. That to me was the most courageous shit. Like, you're wearing a costume up there, dude. That's crazy to me. I would never. You know what I mean? Like, ego, pride, whatever it is, but I could never. You know what I mean? Like, in the back of my head, my deal kick my ass if I wore a wig. Full, like, you know what I mean? Like,
but again, we get that in the community where we come from. Whether you're rapping,
you're different.
Oh, but you're doing that kind of rap.
Different is bad, bro. Like, I remember you're better than us. If you think you're better than us, because I got straight A's. I remember like telling my mom, like, report card day, you know, everyone gets report card.
Shit's
important. What, you think you're better than us, fool? Because you got straight A's, fool? Anyone gets straight A's, fool? And it's like, well, you did it. You know what I mean? Like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like,
I've always said that the people that are always your biggest haters like that, it's because they are projecting onto you.
100%.
Or they are feeling
their insecurities.
Like, oh, I'm so insecure because they got a name. I didn't.
So, and like, that was the weirdest thing, too. You can shut that down just by offering help.
Yeah.
Bro. Yeah. Well, if you need help with your math, dude, I got you. Man, fuck you. Call me. It's like, bro, no, like, seriously, I'll help you, bro.
Hey, fool, your rhymes are a little, let me, look, mira, you got it here. Let's try to focus on, you do this a lot. Why don't we transcend that?
But what's weird is I've like taken that, right, from being a kid, and like, I talked to my lady about this, like, customer service. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what the hell it is, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's the exact same shit. You know what I mean? It's like, knowing that this dude is so mad, but it's not at me. You know what I mean? Like, that saves you so much, bro. Like, you're not mad at me at all. And whatever you're saying right now doesn't mean anything, dude.
Yeah. You're mad that the machine didn't give you
validation. And then the minute you're like, okay, so this and this and this is what happened. I'm so sorry that this happened.
Kill him with kindness, bro.
All of a sudden, they're like, oh shit, I just cussed this person out, and it wasn't even about them.
It's always
turn the light on for them.
And like, I've also realized it embarrassed me.
Yeah.
Embarrassed people lose their shit, dude. If there's hard declines, dude, and there's a line of people and now they're waiting, they flip out, dude. It's something with their machine. It's not me, it's you. And it's like, yo, relax. Like, they're going to wait regardless. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to have to wait. Yeah. Like, those things always trip me out. But I've learned that from being a kid, that my cousins will get mad, like, want to fight me. because they were embarrassed. It wasn't because of anything else. It wasn't because, like you said, it wasn't because they were actually thinking. It was just that projection. Like, I'm embarrassed. I got an F. And he got.
And I didn't even intend to embarrass you.
Like, I'll kick his ass. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna do my strength. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool too, bro. It was a trip, and like that transcends into adulthood now because like I see it all the time. That's the people who get the most mad are the ones who get embarrassed.
Yes,
they did something wrong. They scan or they come and have this big spiel about something, and then you tell them like, no, but it looks like you did this. You know what I mean, or whatever it is. No, it was everything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, relax. Like, I get it, man. You know what I mean? I do because like. But it also transcends again into my adulthood because like I tend not to get riled up like that as much because I know what it's like to get chewed the fuck out by this person. And who am I to chew you out like that, bro? Yeah. I know it's not you. I know it's not even your boss. Even if I want to talk to your manager, they're not going to be able to be the ones I want to yell at. You know what I mean? So what am I here doing? Have I done it? Hell yeah. You know what I mean? I'm clean with the words, bro. We rap. You know what I mean? I can tear someone down with words.
Real good.
It's not hard. So it's like I've been in those positions on both ends, dude. And like, the structure of it all, you know what I mean? That's why I teach my nieces the same thing, bro. Like, what you're doing and what you're giving is what you're gonna get back. You know what I mean? And it may not be immediate either. That's the other part that I fucked up on for a long time. Well, I'm doing good for 6 months, so I deserve 6 months of good shit now. You know what I mean? No, it could be years, dude, of like building. I'm barely now getting to the good shit. You know what I mean? And here I am, because I was a young knucklehead, man. Like I always thought that. You know what I mean? There was a thing like fucking with cars. It was always, you know, and then like I remember getting my first car and being like, my car's gonna get fucked with. Like I know there's no way it's not. You know what I mean? Like, dude, fucking totaled it in like 9 months. You know what I mean? Like it was one of those things, but it was just those ideas of like that's always been on my mind. You know what I mean? Like I've always been in that headspace, and like it served me well, but it can serve you wrong too, because then you create narratives and there's all those other little things. You know what I mean? So as you get older, you start learning more and more too. But like it's weird how you look at things from your childhood now. Yeah. Because like back then it was stupid. It didn't make no fucking sense. I'm almost dumb, dude. Like all these rules were dumb. You know what I mean? Now I built so much character without those rules. I couldn't imagine that because I'm teaching my nieces the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, nah, this is how it's going to be. You know what I mean? And again, the world's a different place now. A very, very, very different place. Right. But ultimately, dude, like it's on us. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's on us to keep that momentum. Right. It's a trip, bro.
It's No Reservations. Remember, tune in every Thursday at 7 p.m. Don't forget to subscribe, like, follow, and share. And if you'd like to be a guest on No Reservations, be sure to email us. Thank you. Man, what a great fucking day. Man. Stay tuned. It's the here and now, all right? Don't forget, all right? Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're back. Had some technical difficulties. Paid a couple bills. Like I like to fucking say.
There you go.
Hates it. Yeah. Commercial and all that shit. So check all that out. No. Crazy thing, bro, is that again, it's all coming to me naturally right now. Is that the homies have transcended into where they're at right now. Right. Because that's their journey. Their journey has not ended. Right. But for right now, life is calling for travel in an RV. Right. To see the world. Right. To be a great father and partner. Mm-hmm. To be a great deal, right? Right, right. But to wrap it around is more so that, like, it's Puritan's time. Yeah. Puritan been putting in the work. Right. That's the crazy give you your part. Flowers right now. You've been working so diligently, bro. Right. And I remember the first time I heard a file that I have yet to hear out that I will always come back to and tell you that. Do that too. Right. Yeah. Do that thing. Mm-hmm. That's you too. Whenever that comes. Right, yeah. But you've been putting in the work, bro, since I can remember, since, like I told you real quick during the break, performing and mentally spazzing out all of a sudden and not wanting to do the show, but I was already invested in this theatrical way and I couldn't. Right. And I broke and then I heard your voice. Right. So that's all to say, bro, is it's your time. The still water. Right. You also has created something for the homies, Blaine, Coriel,
Simple, everyone.
Right.
Tell them, go, dead weight.
Right.
Hey, wait. Do it.
It's one of those things, bro, where like that stepping into the purpose, you know what I mean? Like that is something that is definitely the next steps, you know what I mean? Like those are the moves, you know what I mean? Because like you said, it's hard work deserves to be paid off, you know what I mean? Regardless of what that payoff is, you know what I mean? And like more and more so accepting the fact that like I am good at this, you know what I mean? It was something that you fucking used to get on my ass about, you know, I'd be like, bro, you're doing so good, I like that shit. And I'm trying. You're not fucking trying, bro. You see, you laugh because you're like, bro. And that's why, like, we talked about OGs, and that was that thing.
Yeah.
Like, those are those moments where you're like, that. You know what I mean? The universe will let you know some way, somehow, and like that. And those things have happened. You know what I mean? Simple's done that before. Where like vernacular changes anything. You know what I mean? I statements. You know, if we're a team, you can't be. I need a beat. I needed this. I needed that.
Yeah.
We need. You know, it's huge, bro. And like I've changed my way of speaking that way. Same thing with you. Correct. I still have that thing where I literally will go, delete. Like, yeah, I've been working with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I've been working on this or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Because like that's true. Like that self-talk. You know what I mean? It's again that, man. Appreciate that because like you're one of the ones who have been pushing me into that purpose. You know what I mean? Understanding that like. It's weird that we were talking earlier about the idea like it's all hip hop. You know what I mean? There's so many different versions of that.
Right.
And like again, like the files and the secret file stashes and stuff.
Right.
It's still that. You know what I mean? Like there's still it's just as much okay to do that as it is to do anything else. You know what I mean?
Correct.
That. So like
it's you.
Stepping into that next whatever it is, you know what I mean? That next field is gonna be a trip, man. It's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be dope. I already know it, bro. As quick as you move in your artistry and the vibe of everything, right? It's the environment. That's what it's about. The environment calls for you to move, like you're moving.
It's the love, dude. The love of doing something. You know what I mean? If you don't love doing it, you're not gonna want to do it regardless. You know what I mean? And like the idea of that doing music. How many years have you been doing music? 20 plus years. You know what I mean?
Right.
What else have you done for 20 plus years?
No, you know what I mean? Living and everything. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Nothing has been with you for 20
can't
plus
just walk
years.
away from it.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a crazy thing.
How can you not have love for it
like,
anymore?
Your kid is not 20. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing you have hold sacred to yourself other than that. And, like, I keep saying that a lot lately. Is like, I've done it for more than half my life. Like, that's kind of wild to me. You know what I mean? Like, that's a wild thing to think about. I've done nothing else constantly and consistently as I've done music. In some way, shape, or form over the 20 plus years I've been doing it. You know what I mean? That's crazy to me, dude. Like, that to me. And again, you talk about gatekeeping, like, that, man. What is the next group of individuals going to do with that? You know what I mean? Like,
I was going to move with the time.
The next Biggie's already out. You know what I mean? Exactly. He's already doing it.
The next Puritan's coming soon.
Matt Miller. You know what I mean? Like, these cats are out here for real already. It's just like where and when. You know what I mean? Like, it's a trip, man.
I don't want you to ever stop creating, bro.
That's the thing.
You taught me some things also, you know.
Man.
What we're doing. So full circle.
Right.
You know, and that's what made me think about that is right now this full circle is you. It's your time.
Yeah, man.
Everything has open for you to go. Make your mark.
Yeah.
You'll go to those shows or you'll be in this setting.
Right.
Various versions of this.
Right.
Finding the purpose,
that's it, man. That's
expression,
the goal.
Bro.
Right. That's the goal. Creation, man. Just that. Like I said, you've instilled a lot of that in me over the last couple of years that we've been making, music together and stuff too. Like that, dude. Like there is no stopping. You know what I mean? There is no barrier.
People leave and then we magically
just
link all at the same time, and we're going through our own different versions of that. And aquí estamos.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like we talked about, the quote that I come across recently. I'm big on quotes. I'm sorry. Stuff hits me. Words are cool. We've talked about that. In the darkness, the universe speaks. You know what I mean? And we've talked about the idea of like even at my worst, and I don't want depressed, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Music was always the thing. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know what I want to do in my life. Career changes, life changes. Past break, friendships, whatever it was. It was always music, you know what I mean? And like when I got back to doing music again, then all of a sudden Done pops up, you know what I mean? And like I'm a big believer in that kind of thing, like I've known you for years through the scene, you know what I mean? I've seen you at many shows, we've had many conversations, smoked many of things.
Right.
No problems, but it's just like it wasn't until this moment that it had to happen. You know what I mean? Something as simple to everything is on time. You know what I mean? Everything is on time. You know what I mean? It's not on our time, but it's on time with whatever the hell it is on time. You know what I mean? And like, this could have happened in many facets. You know what I mean? This could have happened a million years ago, but it had to happen now. You know what I mean? It had to happen at this juncture. You know what I mean? And it's going to set that foundation for whatever it is. You know what I mean? And like, that's what I'm trying to do with the music now and stepping into that. That's what I want it to be now. You know what I mean? This is going to be the foundation. The music I'm releasing now is like completely me. You know what I mean? From the actual beat to the recording to the writing to everything involved with it to the videos to the picture. You know what I mean? Like that. And like, that's what I've been striving for all these years was like, God, I just want to put out what I want to put out. And now I can't. You know what I mean? And do it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's the goal, baby. Yeah. Hell yeah.
It's crazy how it came full circle, that term, you're not trying, you're doing. Because I actually got it from therapy.
Yeah.
I was talking to my therapist a couple years ago. I kind of spiraled out of control. My bonus dad passed away in 2022.
Right.
And, my therapist was like, wow, you're doing amazing, like all these strides. And I was like, yeah, I'm trying. And she's like, no, you're not trying. You're doing. You're doing the work. You're doing the work to make sure that you're okay mentally. Mm-hmm. And the first time I told him, and he's just ran with it. So it's nice to see that he's able to just continue on with that after.
We motherfucker.
Oh, yes.
We, all of us.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It shows how that happens, man. Like, that's how quickly, again, something beautiful about words. Like, that. You know what I mean? Like, how something so small and minute that most people would be like, oh, that is cool. And then you tell someone changes their entire reality.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, crazy. Yeah, I didn't know that. See, that's cool as shit, dude. Yeah. That's wild. Yeah.
So speaking of that and words, what type of advice would you give to others that are wanting to just do what they're passionate about?
Do it. You know what I mean? Like, nobody can do it but you. You know what I mean? And like, there's tons of things that can get in your way. There's tons of obstacles that can prevent you from getting to where you want to go. Just do it. You know what I mean? Like, that's, again, I'm in the process of learning that still now. You know what I mean? I made music for, again, more than half my life, and I'm just now getting to the idea that do it. There is nothing holding you back. I have hundreds of songs that I've made over the years that weren't perfect, weren't this, or weren't fitting the dynamic of what I was trying to portray. Mm-hmm. But like you said, it's all encompassing. It's the song I have where I just want to talk shit and be mean is coming out of the same mouth that I'd make this love song about. You know what I mean? For my girlfriend. You know what I mean? Or vice versa. You know what I mean? It's weird how that dynamic works. But just doing it has paid more dividends than thinking about doing it. Where I can sit there and be like, man, if I had this, if I had the money, if I had the budget, if I had the time, if I had the experience, all these things mean nothing if you're not doing it. Like, it means nothing. Now you're just dreaming, you know what I mean? And like, no action gets nothing done. So yeah, biggest advice, just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Whatever it is, dude. You playing trumpet, you want to be the best hacky sack player in the world, dude. Yo, what are you trying to do?
Table tapper.
Do that shit. You know what I mean? The greats weren't great because they could paint. The greats were great because they painted a lot. Do it. Keep painting, dude. Just keep throwing paint at something. It'll fucking make something dope. At some point, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Jackson Pollock style, baby.
Fuck yeah.
Sauce, fool.
Hell yeah.
Right on.
Bro, we want to thank you
man.
For coming and sitting down with us and sharing with the community who you are, bro. Man. You know, I love you. You're my bro.
Already, brother.
Sauce. Thank you for stopping in, bro. Sir.
Yes, thank you.
Hell yeah. Irony and Anomaly coming soon.
Sauce. No Reservations, 7 p.m. every Thursday. Thanks for tuning in on another episode, guys. Be out.
Peace.
Yo, it's your boy Puritan, aka Indie Soul, aka oh my God, is that him? Rocking with no reservations. You already know what it is.